what could only be a patch of black ice, and my eyes snapped open. It was less than a month ago since Emmett and I had been in the worst car accident of my life. As the SUV continued to spin out of control, I couldn't help the yelp of fear that escaped me as another car plowed into us. My head smacked against the window next to where I was sitting as the screech of metal against metal filled my ears and the sounding landscape became a blur. The collision pushed us into the guardrail on the side of the road. Thankfully it held, and we didn't end up down in the ditch, not that the vehicle was drivable anymore anyway. Groans coming from the guys were the first thing I heard as I became aware of my surroundings once again. As I looked around, I noticed scorch marks on the side where both Emmett and Nolan were sitting. I knew they must have reflexively changed into their halfway form, where they didn't fully shift into a hellhound, but were able to access the hound's abilities, like setting itself on fire as a defense mechanism. "Everyone okay?" Hunter's voice called from the front. I couldn't seem to make my voice work, no matter how hard I tried. When eyes began turning to look at me, I gestured to my throat, but it was as if they were looking through me. Knox and Emmett's eyes were both wide, and fear paled their faces. When Hunter and Nolan looked at where I was sitting, they had similar reactions. "Where the hell is she?" Nolan asked. "Hell if I know," Emmett added. I waved my arms in front of me. How could they not see me? When I saw my hands, a cold fear climbed up my spine. They were dark and almost ghostly, as if I were made up of smoke or something. Had I died? I shifted around to look at the seat and see what could have possibly killed me, only to find there was no body there. I had literally just vanished into thin air, except I was right there, looking at them and trying to talk to them. "She's still here. I can feel her fear," Knox said, his eyes studying the back seat for any clues. As though his very words had given it even more power, the fear I felt inside, like a brick of ice, seemed to grow, expanding to the point that it touched my limbs and neck, which only made me even more scared. Emmett cocked his head like a dog listening to a strange sound. "She's terrified." "Oh my God, are you guys okay?" A strange voice sounded through one of the broken windows. All their attention snapped to the source of the sound, and I felt them all go on alert, ready for a potential attack. Although, if it were me, I wouldn't have announced myself before attacking, but maybe that was because I watched too many horror movies. I'd never understood why the main character always called out to the killer. "We're fine," Hunter ground out. "Are you okay?" "The car's totaled, but we're fine. You guys just appeared out of nowhere. I swear I didn't have any idea there was someone in front of me. And then there you were, spinning like a ballerina. I'm so sorry," the owner of the strange voice said as he finally came into view. He was older, maybe in his 50s or 60s, and balding. His plain button-down shirt was neatly tucked into his khakis and had a name tag pinned to it that read, Bob P. Knox's phone was already up to his ear, and I could hear the dispatcher answer on the other end before he quickly explained the situation. No ambulance needed, just 2 tow trucks and a police officer to take statements of what happened. Surprisingly, the crash had already been reported by someone else, and the dispatcher let Knox know that the police officer should be there within a few minutes. Hunter spoke with the driver of the other vehicle, and Knox with the dispatcher, while I just sat there invisible. How the hell was I supposed to fix it when I didn't know what happened in the first place? Emmett and Nolan kept sneaking glances back at where I should be sitting, as if they were trying to figure out a puzzle. The sky was darkening by the time the police officer showed up, which was strange, since it was only just coming up to mid-afternoon, and we weren't even in Canada yet, which was where we were heading before all this. We needed to find my judges. As the future queen of hell, I had to bring my own team in with me, hellhounds and judges to decide which souls went where. I couldn't claim the throne until I had my people all ready to go, and even then, it was going to be a battle, especially when another goddess wanted to claim it.